So I've been wrestling with something this week. If Jesus really is who we say he is, what should our response to that be? What should our response to God really be? And so I've been wrestling, trying to articulate something in my own self this week. And then I got to about the point to say, you know what, if I feel this way, I just need to tell our church. And then on Thursday night, I had a dream that I was standing right here. And I told you what I really felt. And let's just say in my dream, it did not go well. And I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't. And then Friday, I was talking with a pastor at Falls Creek, just right after I shot that little video you just saw. And he says, how are things, or I said to him, how are things going in your church? And he goes, yeah, they're just okay. He said, what about you? And I said, you know what? I would say about the same thing. Things are just going okay. And as I heard myself say that, I thought, I don't want to spend my life just doing something that's okay. I don't want to spend my life just kind of keeping mediocre. And it's not because my life is all that important, but if we really believe that Jesus Christ is our creator and our sustainer, that should bring about some kind of response and reaction from us. So I boiled it down to 3 things that I'm concerned about. And let me say, whenever, and by the way, been here 17 years, I don't think I've ever done something quite like this before. So hope you don't mind. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm cautious in a couple of regards, because anytime a pastor is really honest with his church, sometimes it can come across as judgmental. It's not that at all. If I can't tell you the truth, and if you can't listen to it, then I shouldn't be your pastor, right? Also, when you say something like this, you tend to paint in broad brushstrokes. There are exceptions to what I'm about to say, okay? There are people who are doing exactly what they should be doing and with the right attitude, so this is not painting everyone in the same color. This is just me sharing my heart that if Jesus is our creator and sustainer, there are some things that we absolutely need to have. Here's 3 things that I believe are missing in our church right now. 1 is passion. Passion. And I see this mostly in 2 areas, one on Sunday morning in both of our services, and Jeff and I talk about this. As we lead worship, we call it the painting, that people are here and they just, no movement, no response. Now, I'll tell you this, I'm not an overly expressive person. I'm not a big hands up, raising hands person. That's just my personality. Now, if that's you, that's fine. I encourage that. What I'm not looking for is excitement. What I am looking for is engagement. That if we are here to really worship the God of the universe, we should put our cell phones down and focus in on what God is telling us to do. Bottom line. And boy, I'm going to risk opening up a can of worms here. Some of you, it still really bothers you that we don't do something patriotic on something like in July, early July. I get that. There's a time to honor America. This hour on Sunday morning is not it. But if I wanted to manipulate you, we could roll down the flag, salute the troops, and there would not be a dry eye in the house. What I want is us to feel that way about Jesus. Okay? It's possible to be a great citizen of the United States and a great citizen of the kingdom, but only one of those comes first. Okay? Passion. The other thing I think is missing is a sense of urgency. And I'm going to say this as gently as I know how. Most of you don't give a rip that other people, apart from Christ, are going to hell. Most of us, I'm going to put myself on that. We don't care about our neighbors. We don't care about our coworkers. For us, the church has become a place of edification so I can feel stronger and not a place of evangelism so that others can encounter Christ. Downtown is changing. We've done a great job as a church of reaching the down and out. We do that through our caring centers, both here and out south. The dynamics of downtown is changing, and it's time for us to reinvent ourselves as a church, because the people we should be focused on are the down and out, but also the up and in that are moving right around us. And to be strategic and thoughtful and purposeful about, hey, we stuck around in downtown long enough, we're cool again. So do you think that maybe all those lean years were for the fat years that should be coming? That we look around at the apartment complexes and the condos and the millennials and the retired people and say, welcome to the neighborhood. Let's go. Come on in. And that we care about people's eternal destiny. If we really do believe Jesus is the creator and the sustainer and our Savior, why are we keeping that to ourselves? So the last thing, we're missing passion, I believe. We're missing urgency with the gospel. I think we're just missing good old-fashioned commitment as well. So it's my third capital campaign, third building program. This is not a new rodeo for me. I've seen it happen 3 times. It's happening right now. Whenever you do a building project and you inconvenience people, attendance slips off. We're off by 10% of where we were last year. 10%. Now, I know you people. I like saying you people. You will sit for 3 hours at an OU football game in the drenching rain. But if it sprinkles a little bit on Sunday morning, we'll stay at home and watch on the internet. I can see you through the internet, by the way. Bet you didn't know that. Listen, I feel that temptation too. When it's raining on Sunday, I go, I'm just going to call Chris and have him preach for me. I get that, but I get going because I want to meet the God of the universe. Let me talk specifically to those of you who are parents. Your kids need your commitment. And I don't know what camera's on right now. I'm going to talk to this one. Guys, if y'all get on this camera right now. Parents, it's so easy, especially parents who've grown up in church, they know the gospel, their kids have come to Christ. It's so easy for church to become one option among many, and you'll give more attention to your kids' involvement in sports than you do their spiritual development. Let me say, if you don't hand off Christ to the next generation, Christianity will be extinct in the next generation. Your kids need to know that Christ is not an option. Lead them that way. Show that it's a priority. Show that it's non-negotiable. Let them see your passion and your urgency and your commitment, and it will pass off to them. There's a lot on the line with the next generation. So I'm not putting the blame on you today. It all comes back to me. If my church isn't passionate, I should be passionate. If my church doesn't have a sense of urgency, the first thing I need to do is I need to become urgent about the gospel. If the church lacks commitment, the first thing I need to do is be committed. So I'm going to begin that process today. And all I can do is ask you to join me in that. That's it. Would you stand with me today? Here's what I want to do. Jesus is our creator and sustainer. He is our creator and our Savior. And I want us to have that opportunity to confess today what you heard Jordan and Josiah confess. Jesus is Lord. With this caveat, maybe you have never confessed that with your lips before. You've never come to that point where you finally said, Jesus, you're Lord, you take over, let's go. If you've never confessed that this morning, I want to give the opportunity to do that right now, and we're all going to do this together. If Jesus Christ is the Lord of your life, or you want Jesus to be the Lord of your life, would you just say, Jesus is Lord with me right now? Jesus is Lord.